to the Delatory Law's One-on-One show, brought to you by Delatory Law in downtown Orlando. Our phone number here is 407-733-0640. We're a criminal, family law, and immigration law firm. And go Knights, UCF, 20-0 now?
20-0.
20-0.
You gotta say, brought to you by Chewbacca.
Oh, brought to you by Chewbacca. Yeah. Happy Halloween, everybody.
Oh, man. Had to have some fun with that. Hey, yo, welcome to the One-on-One Show, the special Halloween edition. We have special guest today, Ting, the founder of AGA, American Ghost Stories Downtown Orlando Ghost Tour is our special guest. It's a special Halloween edition. Happy Halloween, everybody. Ting, how you doing?
Good, and yourself?
I'm doing good now that I have the Chewbacca mask off. That thing was kind of tight.
It's very restricting, I'm sure.
It is. So our offices are centrally located here at 135 West Central Boulevard at the heart of downtown Orlando, right next to Gertrude's Walkway. So what is Gertrude's Walkway?
Gertrude's Walkway used to be the widest street in downtown Orlando. It's actually named after a woman that resides here in Orlando. It was after Gertrude Sweet, who was born on June 17th, 1862, and she lived to be about 83 years old or so. Because it was the widest street in Orlando, they decided to put the railroad tracks there, and Miss Gertrude wasn't really happy about that.
Well, she wasn't happy about it. So now she haunts the place because she wasn't happy about a little urban planning there?
Pretty much. I mean, it was a beautiful street ahead of time, and she just didn't like the railroad tracks being on her beautiful walkway. Because Miss Gertrude herself was actually named the prettiest woman in Orlando. Now, that itself was a controversy because at the time when she was named the prettiest woman, her brother, Mayor Sweet, was the person that wrote the history books.
So that's an legend in and of itself that she was pretty.
Correct. Because she's described as a little bit more heavy set, much more muscular facial features. So what we say is beauty's in the eye of the beholder. But Miss Gertrude, from what we understand, still haunts that walkway there.
I've never seen her before, but I'll be on the lookout. Hey, so tell us about your company and what you do, and I'm sure that we're gonna have a lot of skeptical listeners today. But have you ever seen a ghost?
Love it. Actually, we like skeptics. American Ghost Adventures. We've been in business for about 10 years or so under that name, and before that, we were called Orlando Ghost Tours. And yes, I have seen ghosts. I've been doing tours, like I said, for 15 years. Certain things and certain events that go on our tours, I just can't explain. And we've tried to. We just don't name everything paranormal. Our ghost tours are basically an ongoing research for us. So we actually allow the general public to tag along with us and help us find more information about these spirits that actually exist in these buildings in downtown.
So your tour starts at the Harry Buffalo, is that right?
Correct. Our 2-hour sampler tour starts there at Harry Buffalo's. We do have different locations in downtown and different tour types. We have a pub tour. We have the ultimate tour. And we do have a dining with the departed. So each of those things that takes play will have a different starting point. But for the majority of the time, our starting location is going to be at the Harry Buffalo, located at 129 West Church Street.
Is there some drinking involved with this tour?
Only if you choose the pub tour.
Okay.
That's for anybody that's 21 and up. We try not to mix our investigations up with alcohol because, it just rules that all out together, especially if you're a skeptic. But on our pub tour, it's more sociable. It's more storytelling, not so much investigation. And so you're able to have some liquor. And our running joke is if you haven't seen a ghost yet, then you might have to have some more spirits with spirits.
I bring it up because Halloween is a known holiday for drinking, and people often get too intoxicated. So it's a perfect time to throw out a PSA. Remember this Halloween, if you're drinking, don't drive. Be careful out there. Look out for the kiddos. If you're coming downtown for adult Halloween, and let me make that very clear because every now and then, our office is right here in downtown Orlando, and Halloween falls on a weekday this year, and we go outside and we see all this craziness that happens downtown. Women scantily clothed, in some cases, men scantily clothed. It is definitely not kid friendly in downtown Orlando for Halloween. So please take your kids trick or treating in the neighborhood. Don't bring them downtown. I've seen a couple of people from time to time bring kids downtown, and even the scantily clothed women are like, "Oh no, this is not kid friendly. Don't do it. Don't do it." So sticking with the ghost stories, any that stand out in particular for you? Any really famous Orlando ghost story that you would like to talk about?
We can talk about, let's see, the Elijah Hand building right there on Pine.
On Pine Street. All right.
On Pine Street, right behind Embers and all that right there, across from the 7-Eleven. That's on Pine, right there.
All right.
That is a known funeral home at one point in time, owned by Elijah Hand.
I didn't know that.
So, yeah. So now I think a couple of attorneys have bought that building also. So they're renovating it. So it'll be interesting to find out what they experienced there.
I'm glad my office is not there.
Well, if you know them, let them know. We are interested in finding out and doing some research inside that building itself. We would love to have a preview of that.
I used to live, excuse me, I used to work in a historical building, 419 North Magnolia, right behind the downtown Orlando courthouse. And whenever I worked late, it was like the creaking of the old wood boards in the house. I work late a lot, so I'm often in the office until 8, 9 p.m., sometimes later. And that always used to freak me out, especially if I was in the building by myself. I'm like, okay, wrap it up. Time to go.
That's a common, reaction for a lot of people talking about the courthouse right there, which is now known as the Orange County Regional History Center. We used to do tours there quite frequently. Right. Yes, the old courthouse, which is the History Center now. The third floor, which still houses the courthouse, that you can actually go tour and take a look at, and you can still see the original court flooring in there and everything. They have some really well-known haunts in there. Their most popular spirit there is probably by a little girl by the name of Emily. She's about 7 or 8 years old. And the story that we have been told is that Emily likes to walk around the museum at this point in time and interact with people. And several people, without even knowing the history of the building, have spotted her, especially after hours when there's nobody else around. The building is closed after, say 6 o'clock in the evening, and the security guards are patrolling it. They see a little girl running in there where there should be no child or anybody in the building itself. You can hear her giggling. She plays around and moves things in the History Center itself. The story they have for Miss Emily is that her parents were being tried at the courthouse for child abuse. And she was taken away by the state, put in state care. And at some point, she died of an upper respiratory infection, of some sort of respiratory disease. And the last place she saw her parents, even though her parents were not very good, children have this undying love for their parents. They do. They have this unconditional love. So that is the last place she saw her parents. So she still goes back there looking for her parents at this time.
Wow. So if you're just joining us, we have Ting Rappa. Ting Rappa, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly.
You are.
From the American Ghost Adventures Downtown Orlando Ghost Tour. You also do investigations to determine whether or not a particular ghost sighting is real. What does that entail?
Well, we have what we call our 2-hour tour. It's going to be a walking tour of downtown Orlando, because that is the best way to see downtown. So in that 2 hours, you'll get history, you'll get ghost stories, and you get a mini investigation with some of our equipment. On our 2-hour tours, we use the K2 meters, which is also known as an EMF detector, and we use our flashlight techniques. We will give you the history of the building. We'll walk you in there with the meters. Mm-hmm. You'll get to walk around, do what we call a baseline reading, and we'll see what you feel. What do you think this is? Is this building haunted, or does it feel funny?
What are your meters?
And then it's measuring ghost activity, basically, or what we call energy.
Okay.
The energy that supposedly ghosts will give off is measured in milligauss. So all energy is made. Well, let me back that up. Everybody's made of energy. Energy
Yes.
can't be destroyed. So it's just put in another form.
I believe in that. I believe that.
Yeah, that's proven science.
Puts out an aura, and it can be positive, it can be negative. And I always talk to my kids about this. I said, you put out what you want to receive, you put out into the world. You put out positive energy. So like everybody on Monday woke up on the wrong side of the bed in my house. I was like, we got to hit the reset button quick, because if not, this is going to determine the course of the entire day. So I always say, and in my line of work, again, this is the one-on-one show brought to you by Dilatory Law. Our law firm is a criminal, immigration, and family law firm right here in the heart of downtown Orlando at 135 West Central Boulevard. Our phone number is 407-733-0640. Our special guest today is Ting Rappa from American Ghost Stories. Ting, you want to throw out a phone number?
Sure, it's 407-256-6225. And you can look us up on the website at AmericanGhostAdventures.com.
And that was 25622.
No, 256-6225.
6225. That's again, if you want to do a spooky Halloween this year, call Ting at 407-256-6225. 256-6225 to have a spooky Halloween walking tour through downtown Orlando. That sounds like a lot of fun. It doesn't necessarily have to be done on Halloween. They can maybe book that for a Friday or another day. What days are the tours available?
We're open all year round. So check our website. It'll give you all the dates with availabilities on there.
Okay. Ting, out of curiosity, where'd you go to college?
I went to University of Central Florida for a while there. And Valencia. So I'm a local.
20 in a row. 20 in a row. I didn't do my bit at the beginning of the show, but UCF's 20 in a row. I don't think anybody comes close to that streak right now. Not even number one Alabama. Alabama lost this last year, so they've won whatever amount of games. They got like eight. When UCF has 20. And I don't know, local attorney Chad Barr, let me give a shout out to local attorney Chad Barr, organizing a bus caravan to ESPN game day. We all know how much we love here at UCF, UCF Knights. We all know how much we love our friends over at ESPN, who have such nice things to say about us, our school, and our fan base. Quote unquote, most annoying fans in the country, but I'll take it. We are the most annoying fans in the country. We know why? Because we call that swag. I'm originally from Miami. In Miami, we call that swag. And when you're 20 in a row, you have a lot to have swag about. Again, Chad Barr organizing a caravan. He still needs people. If you're interested in traveling to Jacksonville for ESPN game day, please reach out to attorney Chad Barr or look it up on the UCF to the college football playoff fan site on Facebook. And you can find out more information about that, or send a comment in the comment section if you're interested about that, and we'll try to get you a link or some information about that so we can help all the UCF fans get out to game day. Last week, are you a football fan, Ting? Do you watch football?
I do not, but all my boys do. I have a house full of boys. They all watch it, though.
You must be like my wife. She's like, I don't really like football, but I've been recruited into this. She likes going out to the sports bar mostly so she can get some hot wings and maybe a drink or two. But mostly it's the boys and I. My youngest, who is a football fanatic, the boy literally cries anytime the Dolphins lose. It's really bad, and I feel so bad because I indoctrinated him in this misery called the Miami Dolphins, and it's all my fault. I've even tried to give him an out, and I said, "Hey, John, you can root for another team, not in the AFC East." But he hasn't taken me up on it. I think he's already made his bed. He's lying in it. So we're gonna suffer the misery together now as father and son. But more importantly, for all you sports fans that tend to take this stuff way too seriously, let's just remember that sports is really a moment for you to enjoy with your loved ones, such as my old man. Him and I watch soccer together. My son and I watch football together. It's a great moment to bond with your kids. Focus on that and not on the result of the game. Ting, anything else you want to add before we sign off today?
No, thank you so much for having me on the show, and hopefully we'll see some people on our tours. Again, it's in front of Harry Buffalo's at 129 West Church Street, and you can look up our schedules on our website at AmericanGhostAdventures.com.
And you can share this show if you like, so that everybody can see what you were talking about today. And if you like to reach Ting to schedule your ghost story, don't forget you can also reach her at 407-256-6225. Did I get that right, Ting?
Yes, sir, you did. Thank you.
407-256-6225. Call Ting and get your spooky ghost stories told. Thank you very much, Ting, for being on the show. We're going to stick around for another 60 seconds, but you can go ahead and hang up, and we'll reach back out to you. Thanks for being on the show, Ting.
Thank you. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
UCF, 20 in a row. Going for 21. And somehow, I suspect that UCF, without playing this weekend, will drop in the standings, which I think is ironic because last week, the University of Florida didn't play and somehow jumped us in the standings. It's not right. ESPN, Coaches Poll, AP, get it right. I will continue to make our argument for the playoff. That may or may not happen, but at least get the standings right, especially when teams are playing or not playing. Let's do that right. 20 in a row, UCF. 20 in a row. UCF. Nights. More importantly, my PSA this week with Halloween coming up, don't drink and drive. Don't do other substances and drive. There's going to be a lot of kids out. Schedule the Lyft, schedule an Uber, and do the right thing, or just stay put. Our plan is to go over to a friend's house, let the kids trick or treat. My wife or I will be a designated driver, and we'll call it an early night and do the right thing. But for those of you that are coming downtown, have a plan, or else you might need to call me at 407-733-0640. This has been the One-on-One Show. I hope you guys had some fun listening to us this week. This has been a special Halloween edition. We had Ting from American Ghost Stories on the show. We talked about the UCF caravan to college game day. So it was nice having a show on the lighter end. We'll see you next week.